A new law that allows vigilantism targeting people seeking an abortion in Texas could set a dangerous precedent for the rest of our lives. I'm Yoonj Kim, and this is MTV News Need to Know. At midnight Wednesday, a radical new law known as SB 8 went into effect in Texas, banning all abortions after just 6 weeks of pregnancy and awarding citizens at least $10,000 for successfully suing those involved. This is in a state where nearly a quarter of all teenagers become pregnant, and up to 90% of people seeking abortions are at least 6 weeks into their pregnancy. And in short, this ban all but strips a person's right to choose, and it will disproportionately affect young women of color living in rural areas. Many fear this law will set a dangerous precedent. Influencer Annie Wu tweeted, "As a Gen Z millennial cusper 1996, I grew up with Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the Supreme Court and Roe being protected. I grew up with people telling me stuff like times are changing because you are the future. Yet now we are being set back. Today, abortion is illegal in a U.S. state." This is one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country, with no exceptions for sexual violence. Not to mention that many people don't find out they're pregnant within 6 weeks of conception. It's also the first of its kind to incentivize vigilantism and allows for lawsuits to be put forward based on moral judgment. The bounty provision allows individuals to sue anyone who assisted someone to get an abortion, including healthcare workers, parents who drove their children to Planned Parenthood, or even Uber drivers. Lawyer Asha Rangappa pointed out, a key feature of the Texas abortion law is that it opens the door for people and organizations with deep pockets to file hundreds of frivolous lawsuits. So even doctors and providers who comply with the law can get financially ruined trying to defend meritless claims. To be clear, SB 8 doesn't allow for people to physically go after anyone, but it does put the enforcement of laws into the hands of individuals, which is a dangerous move not just for democracy. It has the potential to instigate targeted violence as well. Journalist Jay Michelson wrote in New York Magazine, "Radical anti-abortion activists have shown themselves to be capable of terrorism, including murder. They are religious fanatics who have assaulted, harassed, and even killed those they believe to be quote-unquote killing babies. Does anyone believe that this won't lead to violence?" Some are dismissing the law, saying that people can just leave the state to get an abortion. But economics and privilege stand in the way, as many do not have a driver's license, car access, or the time for travel needed in such a large state. As writer Ashley Fairbanks tweeted, "Don't live in Texas isn't a viable solution for the 15 million women who live in Texas." And soon this could affect people in other states too. Next year, the Supreme Court will hear a case brought by Mississippi where a law to ban abortion after 15 weeks has been struck down by the lower courts, undermining the landmark Roe v. Wade. And it could begin to federally chip away at Roe's ruling that abortions are a constitutional right. For the past decade, Republicans have been trying to pass unconstitutional abortion laws to please key parts of their voter base, anti-choice voters and fiscal conservatives who don't want the government to fund abortions. And young women, especially women of color, vote overwhelmingly Democrat, so disenfranchising them is a clear power grab. This latest attack on reproductive rights is a reminder that even our bodies are political, and while Republicans try to take away the right to choose, we still have the right to vote. And at this point, this might be the tool that protects our decisions about if and when we become parents. I'm Yoonj Kim, and that's what you need to know.